where we're safely ensconced, safe from all the yahoos, like Ball Cap and his pawns. Ball Cap and his pawns. The inner sanctum, now we're talking to you. Safe from all the yahoos, yeah, they're out there on the loose. They're on the loose. Our call reporter, our talk radio host. Now we're sitting here, talking to you. The inner sanctum, where we're safely ensconced, safe from all the yahoos, like Ball Cap and his pawns. Safely ensconced, safely ensconced, safely ensconced.
That we are safely ensconced in the inner sanctum.
I don't know if this is working.
What do you mean? It better be.
Better be.
I mean, I got my special T-shirt on. I got my
I like it.
DeWitt Ranch Motel T-shirt on. Are you old enough to remember the DeWitt Ranch Motel?
Is that the yeah, it's the one at the end of Erie Boulevard, right?
Erie Boulevard.
Yeah.
Wasn't at the end, though. It was where that Kentucky Fried Chicken is, or was. So it had the beautiful neon sign, a huge neon sign with the cowboy and the diving woman on it. The DeWitt Ranch Motel.
I thought that was towards like where the that little plaza is across, the one where they're next to Delta Sonic.
You know where Best Buy was?
Yes.
Across the street from Best Buy.
Yeah, okay.
It was a Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yeah.
Up behind that was the DeWitt Ranch Motel.
Burger King maybe now? Or was it Burger King?
I don't know what it is now. It may still be a Kentucky Fried Chicken for all I know.
No idea.
Nope. I don't go to Erie Boulevard anymore for some reason. I haven't been there in a long time. So.
Well, there's us. We're there.
Oh, we are? All right, good. So we have a new technological setup here. Producer Bill's gone nuts, and that mixer board is really nice.
It is, and it gives us a little more stuff to do.
Right.
I can turn stuff down, turn it up. I hope. I don't know. It's working. I just heard us, so we're good.
All right. So our Yahoo of the week is Dana White and the UFC, because they've gone along with this circus and in just denigrating the White House and building a UFC arena on the White House lawn, and they're going to have a fight. It's for the president's birthday, right?
It's ridiculous. Yeah, well, it's supposedly, I guess, for the president's Flag Day.
And it's not for
birthday.
It's not for July 4th or anything. They're building it now, and it's gigantic. If you haven't seen it yet,
it's stupid.
Yes,
big.
It is stupid big.
I mean, they've already started putting it up.
Yeah. Yes. Right.
I'm going to find this picture I've got, and I'm going to put it up on the air. I got right here.
Absurd.
It's ridiculous. You know what? Listen, it's not because I'd say it was ridiculous if anybody was president.
Yes.
At this point.
Yes. It doesn't belong on the White House lawn. No. Tell you what, instead of putting up a big thing, right? A big ring and everything, just let people stand in a circle around them. Like in all those Jean-Claude Van Damme movies.
Like, what was that? Kickboxer?
Yeah, just do that.
Bloodsport.
Yeah, Bloodsport it. Whatever. We have a guest.
Do you see before we get to our guest, did you see they announced today that's going to be like America's Field Days? America's Fair between the end of June into July. And they're going to have acts at the National Mall.
Oh,
that include his boy, Kid Rock.
No.
Oh yeah,
no.
They're
gonna fly him in a helicopter, an army helicopter.
The '90s tour, like this is the '90s tour with Vanilla Ice. The one dude living from Milli Vanilli.
Oh my God.
It's like a whole big 90s.
Oh, boy. It's not. There's no Ted Nugent, right?
Not yet.
Hope not.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Right.
Here,
Although I'm not sure if he's even performing anymore. Yeah. So that's the beginning of the setup, right?
It looks like WrestleMania.
Yes. Exactly. Exactly.
It's free though. You don't have to pay to get there.
That's
in.
great.
So what? My question. We'll talk about it. We'll talk.
Yeah.
We'll come back to this. We'll
Right.
get to Brent. Let's get Brent.
Brent Axe is here. It's always a pleasure, sir. How are you?
I am terrific. How are you, gentlemen?
Do you consider this season a success for the lacrosse team?
I do not, because their own standard was to win a championship. In the words of Joey Spallina, can I swear on this podcast? It won't be a bad word.
Absolutely.
Joey Spallina on the first day of practice looked at me and said, the only thing I give a shit about is winning a championship. They went up the ladder. They went from a losing season to the quarterfinals to the Final Four. The next step was to win a championship. This was a team built to win a championship. Gary Gate, I don't want to say rigged the schedule. That's not the right way to put it, but made a rigid schedule for this team to go to the Final Four and play its best lacrosse. And they did not. So the standard at Syracuse, even though they have not won a championship since 2009. How about this, guys? So of the, I think it's like 13 teams that have won championships in the history of men's college lacrosse,
Really,
the two with the longest droughts now are Johns Hopkins and Syracuse. The two with the most. Isn't that incredible to think about? By their own standard, they did not have a successful season. That's not my opinion. That's theirs. And it's also mine, because this was a team that was all in, chips in the middle of the table. And you know what, guys? Sometimes Teddy KGB takes your money.
So I love that Rounders little
there you go.
aside there.
I knew you would get that.
So now, how much does NIL play into what's going to happen next?
In lacrosse?
Yeah, in lacrosse. It's already ruined football and basketball. And it's got to ruin lacrosse sooner or later.
You know what the big thing in lacrosse is? It's not necessarily NIL, because there's just not that much money to be thrown around. It's scholarships. Now, they changed the rules recently. Lacrosse used to have a limit of 12 and a half scholarships, right? And some of those were partial. Now, in all the sports, even the so-called Olympic sports, right, you can have up to 48 scholarships. So it's all on what your school invests in the sport. North Carolina has 25 scholarships, for example, already invested, right? So now, and you've got a new athletic director, of course, at Syracuse, and Brian Blair, who's taking a look at everything. And if you're Gary Gate, you got a lot of spots to fill on that roster. There is the transfer portal is a thing in lacrosse. So now, if you're out there competing with schools in your own conference that have double the scholarships that you do, that's a problem. So Syracuse is one of the standard schools in the sport, so they've got to keep up with the Joneses in that department versus good old-fashioned NIL, which is just taken over every other sport. It's there, but it's not quite as prominent.
Okay, good. And hopefully it never is, because it has ruined basketball, and it's only a matter of time. I've been saying this, it's only a matter of time before, let's say, the number one quarterback in the country has been the number one quarterback in the country for 2 years. He's gotten paid at 3 stops in 6 figures. He's going to say, you know what? I don't want to play for you. I think I'll sit out. And I'm already a multi-millionaire.
I'm waiting for it. You know what's already happened, Jim? What has already happened, I'm already hearing this from players in both football and basketball. They went to school A. They got paid. Now I'm going to go to school B because I want to win. Like, I'm good. I got some money. You'll pay me a little bit, but now I want to win. I want to go somewhere where I'm actually going to be in the conversation to win a championship. And the big debate right now is expanding the college football playoff to 24 teams. They already expanded the NCAA tournament, which I'm not a fan of, but hey, guess what? That makes life easier for Syracuse to get in the tournament if there's 8 more schools.
Yeah. What's the basketball? What is that? That starts this upcoming season,
right?
That
starts this season, 76 teams.
How many?
76.
76. So what they did is they took the first 4, which used to only be 4, and just kept growing. And they've made like a mini tournament to get into the tournament, which sucks. If you're like a 16 seed and you're like, look at us, we made the tournament. We're gonna do what now? We got to go play who to get into the tournament? Like,
exactly.
It's such a joke. It's
too bad.
The tournament
money ruins
hard
everything,
to get
man. Money.
That's it, baby.
Terrible.
Now, what do you think about? What do you think about how awful the Mets are? I know you're not into. You haven't getting a lot of baseball. You said that in text. We got.
He's a baseball guy.
I know, but he hasn't because he's been very busy because of lacrosse.
Well, sure.
Listen, it's lacrosse time.
Yeah.
But you're on top of things. It seems like it's gotten worse for the Mets.
They suck.
At least Met fans have two things going for them. One, you have an owner that really cares
Mhm.
and will spend money and is not just sitting there banking money. Like, I'm a Red Sox fan. That's our ownership group. I mean, yeah, they fired Alex Cora to pretend they still care.
Did they
But
fire the
that-
whole coaching staff?
Yeah, and they still produce the least amount of runs in baseball. So,
Yeah.
you know, you're kind of darned if you do, darned if you don't. So at least Met fans have an owner that will not stand for this. The other thing, frankly, Met fans got to give you hope. The Knicks, even the Knicks turned things around, and they got Jim Dolan running that show over
Love
there. They
that.
kind of lucked their way back
Worst
into where they are.
owner in professional sports, and they're going to
And
win a championship.
This
Huge.
streak the Knicks are on, they're not.
It's
They're
insane.
Incredible.
destroying people. This is
Incredible.
I think I saw the stat the other day. The last 13 games is like the biggest point differential in the history of the NBA playoffs.
It's crazy.
That's insane. So
Never
Knick
seen anything
fans-
like it.
Knick fans show you if you hang in there long enough.
And look at, I mean,
I've been a Knicks
Cosmos
fan
will
since
turn around.
1968.
did you see all the
I was alive, by the way, for their last championship. I followed them during their last championship.
when was the last championship?
73.
73? Willis Reed.
Yeah.
So did you see the problems that the big baller Knick fans had in Cleveland the other night?
I did
Yeah, they wouldn't
not.
let him in the front
They
row.
wouldn't let him in the on courtside.
Courtside, no
So
courtside
Fat,
seat.
Fat Joe,
Fat
who's
Joe.
every game, Spike Lee, all those dudes. They had to sit like
Chalamet.
three, four
Chalamet
rows-
didn't get
Yep,
front
three-
row, and
three,
Taylor
four
Swift
rows-
did. Oh,
3-4 rows back.
Well,
So-
Cleveland's kind of like, who's here? What? We don't
Right.
get these kind of celebrities
No.
showing up.
They
here.
got
Right.
well. I'm a big fan, but Machine Gun Kelly was in the front row for
Okay.
Cleveland.
Did you
Who
see
knew? It'd be
what
harder
the,
to get front row seats in Cleveland in the Garden. Wow.
what the tickets cost for Spike Lee for the finals? $140K a piece that he buys
Is
two.
that it?
Yeah. That's
And now that
$140K
that gets him through the whole.
Yeah.
Right.
to the finals.
You know
crazy.
what, though? You got to say this. Chalamet, real fan. Spike Lee, real fan.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
Ben
Fat
Stiller.
Joe,
Like,
big
these
time.
are
Fat Joe, yeah.
these are fans. I
Yeah.
mean, I think Kylie Jenner's just kind of showing up to,
Yes,
sit on
right.
camera for 4 hours, but at least those guys
Stiller,
sit
Ben
courtside.
Stiller's a real fan.
Yep.
Yep.
Real fan. These are real. You got to.
It's like the Red Sox have real fans who are celebrities,
Yeah.
Damon and Affleck and those guys. They're real fans. They're into it. You hate to see somebody just show up because they can and they want to get seen. But
That's in
they do.
LA. I mean, Nicholson was a
Yeah.
real fan, but LA is just
Yeah.
full of people like, who's playing? Yeah.
Right. Right. Man. I don't know. You can't the salaries that are coming up next time around for the NBA stars, some of them are talking about 70 million a year, 75 million a year, and they're up for, an extension and all this stuff. It's incredible money. And
Even the NFL is renegotiating, guys. And you know why the NFL wants to renegotiate? Because they saw what the NBA got from NBC and Amazon Prime. They're like, oh, hey, hold on
Yeah.
a minute. If
Yeah,
the
the
NBA
NFL
can
has
get
not-
that.
the
What about
NFL
us?
is using streaming, but they're not taking advantage of it financially the way the NBA is. And even baseball's gotten big into streaming now, and they're taking advantage of it financially.
Finally, though, I mean, I can at least get all the games finally, and I feel bad for people that got to buy. I mean, I'm one of them, but I feel bad that you got to buy Prime, Apple TV, and everything to watch
it's
all
the,
of
it's
the
the
games.
future, though. It's the future. All the games are going to be on streaming eventually.
I wonder.
At least you can. Like, it still pisses me off once in a while. I'll tune in a game and it's blacked out. I'm like, what do you mean it's blacked out? What are you
right.
talking about? That's
Right.
from 1987 here. What are we doing here?
I think the big
Come on.
fumble, though. I think the big fumble this past week was NASCAR's race being on Amazon Prime after the death of Kurt Busch.
Yeah,
So
that
a
was
lot of
not a good
people
move.
couldn't see
Although
it.
once you're locked in, though, you can't
I
change
know.
it. You just can't. Yeah, that was bad timing. Ugh,
Ugh.
bad optics too, really bad. But at least they honored him really
It
well.
was incredible.
And his last
All right.
race was at Watkins Glen.
Yep.
And
Oh,
there
was it really?
He
There
won
was
the truck
reports-
race, right?
Yep, there was reports afterwards. He was asking for a doctor after, and you could kind of see, unfortunately, things were coming, and that's just a tragic story.
Oh, I didn't hear that. Wow.
Yeah, he was asked for he wanted a shot
No kidding.
after because he thought it was a sinus thing
Yeah.
Wow.
instead of going to a doctor like a normal human.
Well, on that note, we have to end our discussion because our next guest is waiting. We don't like to keep him waiting. Right?
that's right, especially this guy.
Yes,
Do
Brent.
you know this guy?
Geek
Let's
out
bring
next
a-
time.
We can bring everybody. Do you know Fitzy? Do you know this guy right here? Do you know Brent?
Oh, I know this guy. He's a Yankees fan. This guy.
I think Brent acts as one of the best sports reporters in New York. I think he's fantastic.
Oh,
Wow.
thank you,
How about
Fitzy. I
that, man?
appreciate that.
How about that,
I
brother?
would put you in the top 5 DAs in the state of New York. For
Top
sure.
5.
For sure. Yeah.
Well, there's 62 of us. I mean, there's
He's the
thousands of
best.
sports reporters.
You got some balls, boy. I'll tell you that.
I know.
Yeah,
Fitzy knows he's my guy, even though he's a Yankees fan. That's okay.
All right. Thank you, Brent.
Thank you, gentlemen. Great to
We'll
see
see
you.
you soon.
See ya.
Later.
So, obviously, District Attorney Bill Fitzpatrick is here. Esquire, are we finished now with these corrupt prison guards?
Yeah, just about. We have about 4 or 5 sentencings to go, but they're all negotiated dispositions. So assuming, somebody doesn't want to withdraw their plea or some other silly motion like we had this morning, yeah, we're done.
And for now,
Yeah, I was joking with the Attorney General. I said, I'm not being rude, but I'm not answering your calls anymore.
That's right. Yeah. Once is enough for this. Holy cow.
Yeah, she's been very gracious through this whole process. She's very, very laudatory in her comments about me, and she's very satisfied with the disposition. When I started this a little over a year and a half ago, I had people protesting outside my office.
Yep.
And one of the guys, Reverend Kevin McCall, he's huge. He's like 6'5", 6'6", and he's not fat, but he's gigantic. And he was demanding to see me, with his bullhorn. So I told one of my investigators, I said, well, see if he wants to come up to the office. So the guy goes, what? You're demanding to see the DA. The DA's in his office. He'd like to see you. So he sits down across the desk from me, and I shake his hand. I said, what the F are you protesting? I said, I just got the case 2 weeks ago. Give me a couple of weeks to screw it up and then protest, And, we had a great discussion. We talked for about 40 minutes, and we keep in touch now. We're not bosom buddies, but we're friends. And, his point was that these things routinely are disposed of, at the misdemeanor level, filing a couple of false reports, maybe a resignation here or there, and then everybody moves on. And I said, look, if that happens, protest to your heart's content. But I'm telling you right now, that ain't going to happen. And it didn't. We convicted close to 30 people, all of whom lost their jobs, even the 2 guys that were acquitted. And a couple of dozen, were convicted after trial of very serious charges or took plea deals, some of them for lengthy periods of time, which is utterly justified based on the facts of each case.
Guys are dead. People are dead. So somebody has to pay for this, and the people who did it are paying for it. And I didn't realize it was 30 people. That's a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot because some people escaped the jaws of justice because I just didn't have the proof, but I knew that they were involved to some degree, not in physically touching either of the incarcerated individuals. Anybody that touched Robert Brooks is in state prison, and I mean physically abusively touched him.
Right.
One of the guys that put leg irons on him, the jury acquitted him. I obviously respect the jury. I picked them, but that was a little baffling to me. But it was tough picking juries in Oneida County. Does anybody know anybody in the Department of Corrections? All right, let me ask it this way: does anybody not know anybody in the Department of Corrections? One
All town stuff.
Yeah, one individual. She said her father was a guard at Marcy, which is where Robert was murdered, and she said, "No, I can be fair." I said, "Excuse me, your father's a guard there. He knows all these people." No, I'll be fair. And unless she says the magic word, although I think the judge could have excused her, but
You should have excused her.
Yeah.
Although Judge Mulroy didn't excuse me when I went for jury duty, so he should have excused me. But he got a big kick out of it when I showed up for jury duty, and it's not a laughing matter, but he did get a big kick out of it. I never got picked for a jury, by the way.
I had Laura Hand on a jury.
Did you really?
Oh wow,
Now see, she's a
Yeah.
perfect juror. Perfect.
She's a perfect juror. And then the news director at the time came over and begged Judge Fahey to let her go.
Oh, no
It was,
kidding.
I looked at him. I said, "You guys talk about civic responsibility. You lecture me all the time. If you're the biggest critics of everything I do, and you don't know anything about it. And here's a woman that's going to be on jury duty. See what we do intimately."
Exactly.
And she's a wonderful person.
She is.
She's friends with my wife because they both hate me and love dogs.
So they bonded through that for sure.
Yeah, right. Commonality.
All right,
Fitzy, before you go,
Yep.
Quickly, two things. There's this case in Rochester. I don't know if you heard about it. This gentleman abducted this girl in front of a driving training school.
Okay.
Have you heard about this story at all?
No, I don't think so.
So there's a gentleman, and if I'm getting the area wrong, but I think it's the Rochester area.
Okay.
An 18-year-old girl was abducted, or not abducted. She thought she was getting in the car of somebody that worked at that driving school, but he was not. He was impersonating somebody and he took her back to
lessons.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he took her back to his place, raped her. He's subsequently been caught, but the outrage is the amount of bail that he got is $5,000. But if you don't know this, if you don't know the case, then
that's crazy.
I've tried to read it. I've tried to get into it. I just don't know where the judge got the amount of money when I think the prosecution asked for $100,000.
That would seem.
He's not getting 5,000 here. I'll tell you that.
The myth that we've had for years is that the person's dangerousness doesn't apply. And yet, when I testified in Albany on this point years ago, and I looked at the panel, many of whom were practicing lawyers of a different political party than me, and they were nodding their heads. I said, of course, a judge takes into consideration the individual's dangerousness. It's not in the statute. It's in the statute in 49 other states.
Oh, jeez.
When the reform kick started 5 years ago, a lot of people say, "Well, we want to be like New Jersey." I said, "Okay." I said, I took the bait and I said, "Let's have our statute mirror New Jersey's exactly." Then they actually read New Jersey statute and said, "Oh no, we don't want that. We're never going to be that." I remember Joe Lenthal was like very upset with me. "Oh no, we'll never go back to those days." I said, "We're not going back to those days. That's the way it is now, Joe." And of course, Joe's reward for being progressive was to get kicked out of office by the lunatic fringe of his party. And it's the Constitution is not a suicide pact. Everybody, you're entitled constitutionally to have bail considered. It's not a constitutional violation to have a judge say no bail.
Right.
But you look at the strength of the case and you look at the likelihood of reappearance, and wink, wink, you used to also look at the dangers. The judges still do it today. They won't say that. But, if I come before a judge with a serial killer or the case, Bill, you just described, we're not going to get $5,000. And, I have lots of disagreements with my brothers and sisters that wear robes in this county, and I'm restricted in what I can say or not say about that. But for the most part, for the overwhelming part, a judge in this county would have set bail at $100,000. Might even have said, "Hey, counsel, that's too low."
2 counts of first-degree rape, first-degree sexual abuse, second-degree unlawful imprisonment. He's in Monroe County Jail, held on $5,000 bail.
Yeah, it might even be upgraded to kidnapping. And
I would.
Sounds like it.
That would be punishable by life.
And then the second thing I wanted to ask
exactly.
you, the second thing, these teen takeover things that are happening all over.
Yep.
Are we seeing it here?
No,
I know we did some stupid things when I was in high school, but nothing in the destructive
that way.
We used to, you'd set a paper bag with, dog poop on fire and laugh your tails off until you get caught.
Yes, we did.
We were considered, rascallions, but now there seems to be a cruelty streak to it.
No doubt.
Wasn't present before. Jeanine Pirro has this problem in D.C. Jeanine is the United States Attorney, but she's effectively the District Attorney of the District of Columbia. and she has instituted a program where she's going to prosecute the parents
Oh, good.
of these, little rascals. And I wish her every success. I don't know that I could do it in New York successfully. Bill Magnarelli and I have had a number of conversations about this because the school truancy rate in the city of Syracuse is like one of the worst things I've ever heard. It borders on 50%.
Yeah.
And I remember looking at Tony Davis, who is, in my judgment, was a great superintendent, and Jaime Alicia. I don't know the new superintendent yet, but I'm sure I'll meet her. But I remember looking at them and saying, that can't be right. You can't tell me that on a given day in the city of Syracuse, half the kids are not at school, and it's close to that, and that's outstanding.
That's horrific. That's awful.
Yeah, and Bill Magnarelli wanted to develop a way to, and we worked on it, and of course, he couldn't get it by the lunatic fringe of his party, so it never went anywhere. But a lot of times, Bill, you go to prosecute a parent and you can't find a parent,
Right.
or you find a 65-year-old grandmother who's got 3 of her daughter's kids dumped in her lap and struggling just to make ends meet and put food on the table, and there comes a point of, okay, that's just cruel, to prosecute that type of person, and so I hope Janine has success with it. I'll be very curious to see how it works there, but it's difficult to apply that in New York. But as I said, thank God we have not seen that yet. The summer's coming up.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. The social media stuff is crazy. We have a crime analysis center, and we have meetings all the time with Ron Rockwood, who runs it, who's excellent at running it. We have some really good analysts over there, and there was this one I remember, like 2 years ago, there was all of a sudden this peak in shootings, and I was curious. I looked at Sarah and I said, "What's up with that?" It was a social media post of a rap video, where one gang had threatened another gang, and that resulted in like a 25% rise in shootings. Just one idiotic video. And they actually tried to pass a statute that prevents prosecutors from putting in, rap videos as evidence in a trial. So one of the last murder trials I had was this time last year, and I was using the enterprise corruption, which is the state RICO statute. And Alphonse Williams was my co-counsel on the case, and we had a rap video of the guy singing that he had shot this guy. And I said, can you imagine if they had passed that law? I wouldn't be able to put that into evidence. I guess if he gave a speech at his high school, graduation that he had shot the guy, it would be admissible. But because of the cultural significance of it being a rap video, it was cultural appropriation and offensive to try to suggest that it was a salient piece of evidence. How stupid is that?
If the people who robbed the athletes, they were caught in part because they made all these social media videos of showing off on the loot.
There's nothing I enjoy more than a guy saying, well, that gun wasn't mine, and then getting on his Facebook account, and there he is holding the gun, like, the day before. Thank you. I don't want to reveal trade secrets here, but keep being stupid.
Yes. Yeah. Please. Criminals, please. That's why they're not,
keep me at my job.
Thank you for your time as always, Fitz. It's great to see you. Go Yankees. And let's see if they can keep it up for the rest of the year.
Yeah. Man, we got Cole goals tonight.
Absolutely.
Great the other night. I mean, 6 scoreless innings. And of course, Aaron Boone then was trying to find the right pitcher to lose that game, and he eventually did. He put 2 guys in who both gave up no hits, and then he said, "Well, this isn't working. We've got to find somebody." But they'll be fine. They'll be fine.
Yes, they will. Thank you, Fitz.
Okay, good to see you guys.
We'll see you later.
Great to see him.
I sat on a murder trial once that I was on it for 2 days. Between the second and the third day, they found the murder weapon. And they pled.
Wow.
And
so you were on the jury.
I was on the jury.
Wow.
And it was great because when everything was, they brought us in the third day and they said that there's a plea deal. We appreciate your service. If anybody'd like to stay, you can go into the jurors box or the room, and the both attorney and the prosecution will come in and explain to you what happened. It was great.
Did you do it?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Yep. And they came in and just said that, we found the weapon was found. There was he was dead to rights, and that's it.
That's cool.
Yep.
Yeah. I covered the courts for many years, so I know intimately the system, and most Americans do not. So when you get a little chance to peek into the system and see how things really work, that's cool. You can take advantage of that.
I didn't mind. I wouldn't mind doing jury duty again.
Yeah, I know. And I wanted to get on a jury, but since I was covering the courts at the time, one of the defense attorneys said, for one of the juries I was up for 2 juries, and one of the defense attorneys' name was Ralph Cognetti. He goes, Jim. He goes, I can call you Jim since we're friends. And I saw the ADA. It was a woman. Oh, I can't remember her name. Mary Fahey, maybe. I saw her check my name. That means you're out.
Yeah,
because they get to have they can object and just boot somebody.
Sometimes
so I got booted.
Sometimes that's some of the only real thing that happens in the courtroom dramas. Is that part of it.
Yeah. And the other trial, the lawyer asked me what I did for a living. I said, I work at WSYR Radio on news anchor, and I cover the courts as a reporter.
Have a good night.
Shoot. Out.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah. So Judge Kevin Mulroy, when I came into the courtroom, he said, do you have any reason that, you shouldn't serve? I said, no, not at all. He said, well, welcome to the other side. And I sat in the jury box. So he was very nice. Yeah. I liked him. Kevin Mulroy was a good dude. Friend of Fitz's, by the way. So do we have our next one?
We do.
So you need to do this. You need to intro this. This is awesome.
Well, yeah. So we've talked to Ryan before. Ryan's been on the program before talking about things, and we brought him on when he announced his new I don't know, job is not the way to call it, but his new project career. You're Ryan Verrill, everybody, from the Disconnected podcast, also from Antenna Releasing. We've had him on a few times before to talk movies, but Stolen Kingdom is the first release off of his Antenna Releasing, and guess what? It's coming here to Syracuse. Thank you.
Doing our best to bring it to your hometown. I was thrilled to be able to get it close to you, and beyond that, we get to involve you a little more intimately.
I know, it's cool. The one thing that I've said this before when you came on the program is, I see you every week on a weekly basis for 3 to 4 hours at a clip. This Jim, he does a 4-hour podcast. It's almost like you know these people when you just see them on a screen. But when he announced Antenna Releasing on the program and then said the first thing was going to be a Walt Disney World related project, I was all in because you're
Mr. Disney.
Up until it became, you have to sell an arm and a leg to get there. I was a 2 or 3 time a year Disney goer, and I know all about all of this.
So what is the movie about? Let's hear that.
So this is a documentary about a bunch of people that back in the late 90s and early 2000s were urban exploring in the back rooms of Disney World and Disneyland, actually, and they would be getting off of rides when they weren't supposed to be because they discovered there were no cameras back there yet. And they would go back into areas where it's dangerous. There's some of these places have like 35-foot drops that if they just step in the wrong spot, they could fall literally to their death. And they were discovering these places and then taking some video and putting video and pictures online. And some of these, Tumblr accounts or Twitter accounts got thousands and tens of thousands of followers just because they were going into places in Disney World and Disneyland that people never get a chance to see. And the director, Joshua Bailey, has been sort of intimately involved in this world, knowing a lot of them on an individual basis, and covered the story behind this animatronic that went missing from Epcot back in 2016, 2018, something like that. And it is an animatronic called Buzzy that is over 300 pounds, multiple feet tall, and somehow somebody lifted this from Epcot and got away with it. And this is a documentary about the whole story, and it is wild.
That's the story is how they got out of there. How they got out of there is, I can't wait to. And I haven't seen this yet. I'll be seeing it first time on Friday at the Palace Theater at 7 p.m.
Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah,
that's incredible. That is absolutely. Although I can tell you from firsthand knowledge that in 1976, I was in Disney World, and the Epcot, the big coaster wasn't even done yet, and
Space Mountain.
the Space Mountain, and the
There wasn't even-
security was a joke. There was no security.
Well, weren't you on the roof of the Contemporary or something?
No, I was, so I was in the military, and we went to the roof of the Contemporary and drank. It was back then, so I can understand how they got access to places where they shouldn't have been. Back then, security was nothing. And like you said, no cameras back there.
Not at all.
Well, this is fascinating. I can't wait to see this.
So now this is a little different than what you would normally see how a movie is brought out. It's not, it's not a long-term run at a movie theater. They are taking this to independent movie houses all across the country. And it started last week, 2 weeks ago?
Just last week, we are hitting 23 different cities across the U.S. with the director and a producer, at least one, sometimes even more, in person at all these places. And then alongside that, we're playing in about 100 other theaters on top of that. So our goal at the beginning was to make it so nobody in the U.S. had to travel more than 90 minutes to be able to see this. And we got really, really close. There's a couple little blank spots that are going to be tough for a handful of houses across the U.S. But no matter where you are, there is going to be a way for you to get to be able to see it. And then on top of that, it's also available right now in the Letterboxd video store. So if you're just dying to see it, you can go there. But obviously, if you're listening or watching this, man, you got to be able to come out this Friday night to Syracuse, be able to see it in person with Josh, and maybe you can ask him a question in person.
Oh, that's great.
And I'm going to be the host of the Q&A.
Very good. Now, how do you top this? What do you do for your next release?
I know.
If
in Florida, right?
That is one of our films. That one's technically not even coming out till next year. We have another, I don't know, 14, 15 movies we're doing this year, still throughout the rest of the year. There's multiple shows that are going to be doing road shows across the U.S. In fact, if you follow us on social media, we are announcing a couple of them over the next 3 weeks. In fact, maybe even 3 over the next couple of weeks. One of them is going to be something that specifically the two of you will be very interested in. So I feel like we might be seeing each other soon.
Awesome.
I like it.
Love that.
So, so do you have any release date for this to come out in a physical? Because that's your thing. Your thing is you're the physical media guy.
I am, but I mean, I'm really kind of pushing the whole we'll say culture behind this, because obviously when COVID hit, a lot of theaters have struggled since then. And so not only am I trying to push physical media, the best way to see a movie like this, which genuinely, this is really not just me selling it. This is the funniest documentary I've ever seen, which made me have to sign this. And when I think documentary, I'm not really thinking funny unless it's something off, like a comedy troupe or something like that. It's not. This is genuinely something where Friday night in Syracuse, you're going to be rolling with laughter watching this movie, because it comes across as silly in a way. But we are pushing this on physical media long after it's out of theaters, probably next summer-ish. So you'll be waiting a little while for a disc release. I'm coming out with my first disc release this November, and it's titles that we've not even announced yet. So that'll be a big surprise for people.
Excellent.
And you can go to Stolen Kingdom Movie?
StolenKingdomFilm.com.
Film.com. StolenKingdomFilm.com. You can get the tickets right from Stolen Kingdom Film for the Palace.
Yep.
You can go to the Palace and pay as you go in, but if you go to the website, they can track it better. It's good for them to know what's coming in, especially these.
Not to mention, the biggest thing is that these roadshow stops are selling out pretty much long before you're able to show up at the door. So if you're definitely going to be there Friday night, you probably want to get them online ahead of time. Otherwise, you may not be able to get in. I have a close friend of mine that just went to a screening in St. Louis, and he's been jazzed telling me about it. I'm so glad you got it in St. Louis. It's a small town. Most people don't get it. He went to show up and was told, we're sold out. Sorry.
Very awesome.
Yeah.
And it couldn't happen to a better guy, Ryan.
I appreciate that.
Following your journey the last couple of years with your personal life and going into your business life's been so Ryan, before his career, his real job is because I always like to say that, because I have a weird job too, and I don't have a real job, but I have a weird job. Worked for the immigrations department for the federal government.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was with the federal government for almost 17 years.
No kidding.
And just couldn't take it anymore. And he said, you know what? and he bet on himself, and that is the best way to do it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because you know you're going to work your tail off, and you always have. I mean, these, if you could, I love the 3 to 4 hours every week, and what he does to put into the show. All of the upcoming releases that are coming out. He's got the pictures. He's got all the info of every physical media label, everything. So if you're into the stuff like I am, like if you're a geek, I like Things in My Hand, the Disconnected podcast. You can find that on any Reconnected. You can find that on any along with us, any podcast app, Spotify, Apple, YouTube. He's live every Thursday night, 9:30 at night until Eastern time, until they both fall over.
Which some nights it's pretty close to that. And
I always say
I'd love to start earlier, but I got 2 kids, so I got to wait.
My favorite week is when the doc is with you. He has got a professor of film that does the show once a month with him, cool. And it's those two. I mean, he's hilarious in his own. But I'm glad you brought the movie here. I'm glad it's at the Palace. We've done some stuff at the Palace before, back when we were in radio. It's a gorgeous building.
Yeah.
We have some tickets to give away. So go to our Facebook page tomorrow or tonight. I'll have it up tonight, and we'll pick a winner tomorrow evening, and we'll send you to the movie Stolen Kingdom at the Palace Theater Friday night, 7:00. Go to Stolen Kingdom Film right now and get your tickets. It's
one
cheaper.
More thing, if I can.
Absolutely.
For Stolen Kingdom. So this is still wild to me that I was able to do this. I'm a big fan of immersive worlds and lore and storytelling behind things. So we built an entire alternate reality game for Stolen Kingdom, and you are able to start solving those puzzles right now. But if you go in person to the Palace tomorrow night, or Friday night, apologies, there will likely be clues given at the Palace that you cannot get anywhere else. So if you want some of those clues, you may want to show up to this. But if you want to prep beforehand, go to findbuzzy.com and get yourself registered. There are literally 25 different puzzles that we've made for this thing. And you're able to track this. It might be months until all of them are unlocked. But if you work on it now, you can join in the community and start building the Buzz, pardon the pun. The animatronic that was stolen, his name was Buzzy. So go to findbuzzy.com and help solve the mystery.
That's awesome.
I love that Blood Harvest poster behind you.
Love it.
I showed my kids Insidious this week, and now I've just been playing Tiny Tim to scare the heck out of them.
So going back to the podcast, your children are how old, Ryan?
I've got a 11-year-old and a 9-year-old.
So, and he's just starting to introduce some of the crazy horror, not too whack out ones, but Child's Play one of the first ones?
They will, yeah. I mean, my youngest saw the cover and went, "Oh, is this a doll? We should watch this." I went, "Yeah, you should. Let's watch it."
But not in the dark and not alone.
That's right.
So we definitely watched it in the dark, and it was a good time.
And then he went to New Zealand.
Yeah, my wife and I went to New Zealand. So leading up to that, we got to show the kids Lord of the Rings, and then when we came back and said, "Yeah, all these houses, we were just able to stand there right in front of them."
Awesome,
Ryan. Thanks, man. It's great to see you.
Thank you.
I know Phil's looking forward to seeing you on Friday.
It'll be a blast, and like I said, we'll be back, especially at the Palace. Only ever heard good things. Can't wait to be able to visit myself one day.
Awesome. Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks, both.
We'll see you later. Soon. Bye.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Fantastic.
Listen, there's a guy in Syracuse that wrote a book about travel, Disney travel.
Oh, really?
He's going to be there. He's we used to.
Well, you used to be like an ambassador or something.
Right? I used to be able to do. I used to go in and book vacations for people. It was fun, and what I would do is that's when I was going 2 or 3 times a year. I'd just take that money and kind of bank it, and that would be my trip money. But it's a lot of fun. But it's going to Disney now. It's really expensive. They've even said that you can go to Euro Disney or the Disneyland Hong Kong or whatever, Japan, and it's cheaper to go there than it is to here, even with the flights and stuff.
Are you kidding me?
Yep.
Wow. Disney, they still have Disney Paris, don't they?
Yep. Disneyland Paris. Shanghai is the newest one. There's Disneyland
really?
Shanghai.
Wow.
But everything is growing and Universal's growing. So that means Disney's got to grow because Universal just opened up another gate.
But
Universal did.
it's like everything else. So they're pricing everybody out.
I mean, when I was in Florida, it was over $200 a day.
Oh,
If you were just going per person. If you're just going to the park, like a 1-day park deal, it's 200 plus. Because I was there, it's spring break.
Family of 4, $800 for one day.
1 day.
That's insane.
And then
That's crazy.
even like the employee discount's not even that big anymore that it used to be. But you know what? They don't need to do that. People, it's record crowds every year. Record money every year.
Wow. I don't know what to say. I mean, that's just it's just, to me, I mean, a family of 4, $800 for 1 day is
that's just tickets.
Right.
Add a couple $300-$400 on top of that for food if you're eating in the park. One thing people don't realize though is you can bring your own food into Disney.
Really?
Yep. It's got to be a certain size cooler, no glass, no alcohol, but you can bring in sandwiches and stuff like that in Disney if you're trying to do it on a budget. But one of the big things about Disney is the food.
Yeah, right. I
mean, some of the best food in the world is in Disney World.
And they make it that way, so people buy it.
They have a 5-star restaurant on property, and some of the coolest themed restaurants. There's the October or the German beer garden restaurants. Just a cool themed German. You're sitting at these big long tables, just like that, and
so
sci-fi.
What would a dinner there cost?
Oh, I mean, it's $60-$70 a plate. If you're going to like Ohana, I think it's $60 or $70 a plate, because Ohana is a family style restaurant where they bring like a Brazilian steakhouse. They bring the skewers of meat around, and those, you got the buffets, then you've got your sit downs, but you're still paying $30-$40 a plate for a good sit down place. But then there's the quick service counters and stuff where you can get pretty good meals. I know there's a really good barbecue place in Animal Kingdom that it's pretty reasonable. It's a counter service. And one of my favorite places that I always go to when I go to Disney Hollywood Studios is the little restaurant inside of Avatar.
Okay.
It's a quick service, but they have these bowls, and they're like meats and rice and lettuce. They're really good. It's inside of where Pandora is.
Okay.
In the Disney.
Not that I'm ever going to go again, but all right.
I'll probably go again. I'm there every year, so
yeah.
Well, we have to check out Epic. We haven't been to Epic Universal, and it's different.
What's Epic?
It's the newest Universal Studios property.
Okay.
With it's got the Mario and the Nintendo stuff.
Oh.
But have you seen anything? Speaking of watching stuff, you see anything?
We caught up on Testaments. Is that what it's called?
No clue.
It's the Handmaid's Tale. Season.
I don't think my wife's she was big into Handmaid's Tale.
Love it.
I don't think she's gone in
This is very good.
She's watching some school show right now, after school or after hours school. I don't know what. I came home last night and she was watching. It wasn't.
Yeah, that's the only thing we've watched really, except sports. We're watching our Yankees, and if the Yankees aren't playing, the Mets are. So
that's sports is where it's baseball season.
Yep.
And then my SVU and regular Law and Order are done for the season. This Friday is the season finale for Boston Blue, which is one of my favorite new shows now.
Yeah,
it's the spinoff.
Was that a good one?
Very good. It's been picked up again, and it's he's cheesy, but he's a good cheesy Donnie Wahlberg.
Yeah.
And it's got the heart that the Blue Bloods had. The whole family. I don't know if you ever saw
a couple of times
Blue Bloods, but
it's Tom Selleck, right?
Normally the last scene is them eating dinner together as a family.
Oh, okay.
And now he has gone. Donnie has moved from New York to Boston because his son is a cop in Boston, and his son got injured. That was the pilot. He goes, and then they solve the case, and they want him to come, and he comes. So now you see the characters from the original. They'll come in and do cameos. Every, and they're sometimes they're not even announced. Like the end of this past week was the grandson was there, and he just walks and he's having dinner with the new family that his partners. And it's a different religion. They're all Catholic in In Blue Bloods now they're what are they? They're Jewish.
Oh,
And it's great because Danny's learned all of the stuff that they do during dinner, and it's very well written. It's almost like it's a very Aaron Sorkin like writing,
right.
Stuff you can it's stuff that happens to your family,
Right.
which is good.
It's very relatable. His stuff is always very relatable.
I haven't really even watched any movies. If I had to pick one, I've been on a Sidney Poitier kick, and I just watched To Sir with Love. Great
movie.
And I didn't know there's a sequel that came out in the 90s.
Was there really?
When he's in it, I'm going to watch it. It's just one of the special features of the version of To Sir with Love I got.
He's incredible actor. I read his autobiography. It's a great book.
I watched an awful one that he's in, but he made it better. It was I think it might have been one of his last movies with Kurt Russell. Shot in the Dark.
What's the one that he did where he's was it Mel Gibson he's with, and
is that Sneakers?
Chasing somebody up a mountain?
That's it. That's the one I watched. It's Kurt Russell.
Yeah, it's Kurt Russell.
I think so. Let me get it. I just watched it too, but it wasn't.
It was okay.
If it wasn't for him.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, I remember that one. I don't remember the name of it, of course, but I do remember that one. He's just such a fabulous actor. Everything he does in the Heat of the Night is one of the best movies ever done.
All time.
Oh,
see, this one, it wasn't one of the big ones. It's not on the top of the list.
I'm sure it's way down the list. Aren't they in Seattle too? And they jump off. He has to jump into the water or something. I know it. I remember it. He was good in it, but it was one of his last ones. He was about done by then.
I did it. They never. It wasn't Kurt Russell. I can't remember who the other actor was in it with him, but it was good. I mean, it like you said,
it was okay.
It's a good 90s action, goofy.
Yeah.
But he just made it better.
Sure.
And it was an older Sidney Poitier, obviously.
So June 9th, we're still
at June 9th. We're going to have Mo Brown and Bill Magnarelli for a conversation. Right. And we're going to have more information on that coming up this week.
Okay.
Next week, we got to already have some stuff planned.
Well, this whole thing in the legislature, we need to talk about because the Democrats in the legislature are really proposing some radical changes to county government. They want to put a 3 consecutive term limit on the county executive, which I think is a pretty good idea myself. But I noticed that in this proposal, there's no term limits on the legislature. So
shocking.
Right, exactly. And I'd like to know why, of course. And they're talking about redistricting. So it's going to be very interesting. Now, these things don't get approved by anyone in the legislature or the county executive. They go to the voters. And I can tell you right now, the voters will say yes to 3 consecutive term limit for the county executive for sure. I don't think there's any doubt about that. But I'd like to see the legislature have term limits too. Do you want to do 3 for the county executive, have 3 for the legislature? And that's a long time. I mean, 12 years is a lot. So there's guys that have in the old days stayed on there forever. And it's just, I don't like that. So let's have term limits for everybody.
Deadly Pursuit, Tom Berenger.
Oh, Tom Berenger. There you go. Yep. Deadly Pursuit.
And then the Canadian border. That was it. Yep.
So it's the guy who plays Mr. Krabs is the bad guy. And he's also he's the guy from Shawshank Redemption 2 is the prison guard. That's Mr. Krabs on
and there's that little twist in the
So he pushes a bunch of people off, right? And so it's what's her name? Christy Alley, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
She was the guide or whatever.
Camp or the mountain guide.
Yeah.
Yep. And then they're looking for this guy, and he just happens to be on this crew with these campers, and it's funny because a lot of the campers are like big names, and they're gone.
Yeah, gone
really quick in the movie.
Pushed off the cliff there.
Yeah,
I thought it was a good movie.
But yeah, I got a 4K version of To Sir with Love. It looks great. Got it cheap on eBay.
Great movie.
That, and I got the original miniseries V.
Remember V? Okay. Yes, I do. Yep.
The Warner Archive is a very good label that puts out remastered stuff, and there's not a lot of extras in that on those, but the The picture quality, the remaster is great.
Criterion's the one that does all the extras, right?
Criterion. So there's a lot of them now. There's Criterion. There's Kino Lorber is a big one. There's Arrow Video. There's Vinegar Syndrome. There's Severin Video. There's a lot of them now.
Wow.
The selling point is all the extras.
Yeah,
You're paying all this money now for these movies because they don't make a lot of them. They're 1,000, 1,500, 2,000. But I have Dirty Work. Remember the movie Dirty Work with Norm Macdonald from SNL?
No.
And boy, was it Artie Lang maybe in it?
No, I really don't know.
It was a 90s screwball movie,
Okay.
but there was a version of it that was never released. And this company picked it up, remastered it in 4K, and both versions are on it.
No kidding.
Yep.
That's interesting.
Yep. They do weird stuff. They've done Garbage Pail Kids. Remember the Garbage Pail Kids?
Ugh.
And then they'll do stuff like really main Vinegar Syndrome, like Showgirls and Roadhouse. They put out these deluxe editions of with Cloak and Dagger. I have that over here. They make them in these big,
Oh, okay. Packages?
And then, and then
okay.
like the movie inside is like it was the video game that they bought in the store.
Okay.
And it's coming a book, big book. This is what. So you pay for this. I mean, this was probably when I paid.
You pay for.
This is $45. It was when I first came out. But you're paying for all that stuff. But
Yeah.
if the movies didn't look good, the way that the transfers to 4K, then people wouldn't buy them. But
Right.
these look unbelievable.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep.
All right. That'll do it for
So-
now. What's the date today? We're
27th.
the 9th is coming up quick. So we have one more and then the 9th, right?
Yep. We have next Tuesday, the 2nd, and then we'll be the 9th. Will be our
Oh, okay.
special.
Yeah.
And that's we're just gonna do. The conversation for the show.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Awesome. Fantastic. Can't wait. This was a good one too, and we appreciate Fitz and Ryan and
We didn't
Mr.
geek out.
X.
We didn't geek out.
No, you will next time.
Yeah.
Take care of yourselves, all right? Until next time, God willing, we're all back at it. The Jim Reith Show Unleashed podcast.